Welcome to Assembly AV1.1. This assembly provides live monthly meetings with video broadcasts, as well as a chat room so all members can interact in real time. There is also an upcoming lecture series in which all members of the SAM are invited to attend. Can't make it to the meeting or lecture live? No worries, as all of it will be archived so it can be seen on demand for any active member of the Society. The cost of all this? It's free for all members of the Society of American Magicians. All members of the Society of American Magicians.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Joel Zaritsky, the North Atlantic Regional Vice President, and soon to be with me is John Midgley. And welcome all to Assembly V1.1, the SAM's first virtual assembly. There he is.
Here I am. I'm just John, just a fellow compeer.
Well, welcome everybody. Tonight is the member meeting. It's all about you guys. Thank you. Thanks for the shirt. I like this. Tonight's meeting, like I said, is about the member meeting. It's going to be member videos and performances by both teachers. Before we go to do that, I just want to talk about what's upcoming over the next couple months. And just so you know, John is recording all of these episodes. You can go back.
I am on several computers. In case one of them fails, then the other one will be doing it. So you may see my broadcast lagging from time to time. That's because I'm using so much bandwidth to do this. But I think I just cleared it up, so we should be good.
Yeah, and usually within about 48 hours, right, John? It'll be up on the website. MagicSam.com?
Yep. Should be, yeah, pretty quickly.
Right. You can go back and watch the convention's highlight special and also Bruce Calver's as well. But upcoming, next month we have David Casero, who is going to be talking about marketing for magicians. He gives an absolutely phenomenal lecture if you've never seen him before. Then December we have Jamie D. Grant, who is one of the most positive people I have ever met in my life. January, we're going to be having
ridiculous. That man is ridiculous. Jamie D. Grant. I just can't believe how positive this guy is. I had to introduce him to my wife because she prides herself on being like the most bubbly, happy person in the world. She hasn't met Jamie D. Grant because that man is. His outlook on life is amazing.
It's true. It's true. January, we have another member meeting. So, again, get your videos ready. It's going to be, again, all about you and teachings and performances. And then in February, we have Michael DeShalit, who's going to be giving another phenomenal lecture. So we've got a lot coming up over the next couple months. And how much is this going to be, John?
We're going to keep it free. We're going to keep this free. I'm also working, just a heads up for our small group tonight. I've been trying out 6 different softwares to see if we can bypass the iPad iPhone dilemma with the clips. So there's this strange lag that happens if I try to broadcast videos directly from my computer, but I'm hoping to have that solved in the next 2 months so we have more freedom and can do whatever we want. So here's hoping.
Excellent. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, John is a creative genius with all this stuff here. He is unbelievable in putting this all together. So bravo.
It's a collage, really. All I'm doing is taking stuff that already exists and trying to piece it all together to make it work the way we want it to keep it free. That's the big thing.
Yeah, it has made it work. So the way it's going to work tonight, we have 2 members who are giving performance pieces. We have S. Patrick Toman and Sean Doolin, and we're going to be talking about their clips and their performances. And I definitely want to go, if any of you saw Bruce Calver's episode last month, he talked about PASA, the acronym, P-A-S-A. P being praise, A being ask questions, S being suggest, and A being applause. And that's the way I think we should definitely want to do this tonight. Remember, this is a judgment-free zone, and we're trying to make all of us better magicians, the best magicians we can be. So remember PASA, P-A-S-A. And then following that, we have many actually, member teach magic effects, which John's going to be showing to us after that. But
yeah, 6, I think. I think we have 6 different effects being taught, some quite thorough. And stay tuned for the last one. That's impressive. Somebody put a lot of work into their segment.
Yeah, we'll talk about that before we do that as well, too. But let's get to the performance pieces, though, first. And, John, do you have S. Patrick Tolman's?
So here's the deal. Inside of this bag, I have...
You got chicken, I'll help you.
Some chicken wings.
Ooh!
I'm not going to tell you what flavor.
Wow.
I'm just going to leave them right inside here.
I thought there was only one. Chicken wing.
There are many flavors, many flavors. As a matter of fact, I've written a bunch of those flavors down on these cards. You have teriyaki.
Ooh.
You have spicy ginger.
Ooh.
You have a barbecue. You have honey mustard. You also have garlic parmesan.
How about General
So we're
Tso's
going to
chicken?
take these and mix them up, and I'm going to need a volunteer to help me out with this
Do you get to eat at the end?
mentalism experiment. It's entirely possible. It depends. If you get it right. If you get it right. If you don't get it right, then you don't get to eat. That's how it works. Mix.
He's right there.
Are you volunteering?
Yes, sir.
Very good. We're going to take these cards and we're going to place them inside of these envelopes. One card per envelope. Honey mustard will go in this one. Garlic parmesan will go in this one right here. Hang on. Teriyaki will go in this one.
No KFC. I like Terry. She was in my third grade class.
And barbecue will go in here. Now that we've got these cards inside of the envelopes, you can't see through these envelopes, right? Very good. I want you to take these. I want you just to
Top
shuffle them
line,
up, mix them
Clark.
up. Notice he's shuffling the envelopes. He's mixing them all up.
Wow.
I want you to give me 2 of those envelopes. Very good. Throw those right over here. You've got 3 envelopes left. Give me 1 more envelope. Very good. You're down to 2 envelopes. I want you to think hard this time. Left envelope, right envelope. Which one do you want to keep? Which one do you want to give me? It's totally up to you.
Give her the right.
Very good. We've got 1 envelope left. Are you sure about this one?
Hope so.
Are you positive? Inside here, the card says garlic parmesan.
I knew it.
Do me a favor and slowly and carefully open up the prediction wings that I brought this evening, all the way from Pizza Hut.
Hey, it's all the way on Route 440, so that's far. He's afraid.
Inside there
Wow.
are 8
Yes.
garlic parmesan wings, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a huge, huge
Yes. May I? By all means, go for it. I'm there, man.
Maybe I should have done the food thing last. No.
Wow, S. Patrick, that was really cool. I'd like to get your comments going right in the chat room if you could. I love the effect of adding the idea of chicken wings. Just love the effect of that, of having something in their hand.
I have not seen prediction wings before, but I have a feeling it's gonna catch on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bite into that garlic parmesan. Oh, that's the card you picked earlier too. You just build on top of that sucker. Yeah, that was an awesome performance. I really like the idea of using the different sensory part of it, because not a lot of people use taste in their effects. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of S. Patrick. I've seen him perform a few times. I don't know if he knows that, but Follow him on Facebook. He's got a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah, Joe Lantier had a suggestion there too. If the cards were a little larger for people to actually see that, for the parlor. Wow, there's a chicken wing jam. They called this. That's pretty cool.
Was that the theme of the whole meeting? Like, did chicken have to be involved for everything? Like everybody brought a rubber chicken because no one thought to do the taste test that you had. That's awesome.
Really well done. Yeah. We're tying to that theme, yes, Patrick. Yeah. Very, very well done.
I'm going to step out to get the next clip ready while you wrap this up. So,
yeah,
don't mind me.
Even though we're showing other clips here, if people do want to comment throughout the evening, go right ahead. Chicken wings while they eat there. That's pretty wild. So, again, thank you so much, S. Patrick, for doing that, for showing that, and like I said, that was mentalism taken to a different level. There. So, our next one is Sean Doolin, also known as Sean the Prankster from Windham, New York, which is one of my favorite ski areas underneath there. So we're going to be pulling that up and showing Sean Doolin.
Good evening. I am Sean the Prankster Magician. I'm from Windham, New York, and I'm doing a coin routine for you. I'm new to coins, so bear with me. This routine, I'm only going to do part of it, was largely inspired by Chris Korn, and however, I don't believe he takes credit for it. It's called Two Fly. I'm going to do it without any pattern because it's brand new to me. I've literally just started working on it today, but I want to get a sense if anyone is familiar with this routine. Stop.
Hi, back again.
Jumped the gun on that clip, didn't I?
That's okay.
I'm just so excited to learn. I just gotta learn, man.
Yeah, Steve Spence writes down, what size of coins did you use, Sean, for that? It was a little hard to see the coins there. I like the way that he showed obviously his palms open like that, and then obviously went right into the routine. That looked very nice. And considering, I think he said this was something he just started working on.
Yeah, that day. I think he called the routine is Two Fly. Is that a marketed effect? Okay.
Turns out.
So. Sure.
Yeah, I know.
It's that's what. Yeah, we're some visibility issues. I apologize for that. Trying to fix this stuff as we go. But
I think it was
yeah,
well
we'll
done.
see what we can do.
One day on it. But yeah, I think Steve has a good point there in terms of especially for visibility. I think as maybe the larger coins that you feel more comfortable with for presentations, especially if you're working in a obviously a parlor setting.
Yeah, I know for me, my perfect coin is a dollar size coin. So I don't know. A lot of people use halves. Just curious what other people like
Yeah,
their
I
preference
use
of the coins that work best for them are.
Yeah, true. Coins do go over better in person there too. But I'm a $50 guy. I mean, to me, the full dollar sized coins are close. Unless it's the George Schindler coin, then that works actually very well, which you can get actually at MagicSam.com. But showing that was very well done too. So again, like I said, if you have comments throughout the night, absolutely, just write them into the chat room. But let's go to some teaching videos. And our first one is by.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeff Sikora, President of the Society of American Magicians. I've been looking forward to tonight's meeting like you wouldn't believe. Tonight, we get to see what you guys have. Tonight, it's members teaching members, just like with any assembly meeting. And I've got something to teach you too in just a couple minutes. But first of all, I want to take care of some business. When I took office about 3 months ago, my goal was to increase membership in the SAM, so I initiated the Get Just One campaign. My challenge, my plea to you, to get just one person to join the SAM. And I got some numbers back this week, and it's looking good. Membership is increasing, so I have to thank you for that. I'm not the one doing it. It's you guys getting out there, getting other people to join the SAM. So thank you very much, but don't let up right now. We have momentum building, and I want you to get out there and get some more people to join the SAM, because the more people we get in our organization, the better we are. Now, let me teach you something. All right, if you have a membership card on you, then you have just about everything you need to do this trick. Look at this. I've got a clock face right here. I just printed this out from Google Images. You can print one out yourself, or you can hand write one. It doesn't really matter. What you're going to do is you're going to talk to your spectator and tell them to pick any number between 1 and 12. Then tell them that you're going to spell that number. The number you land on, you're going to spell that number. The number you land on after that, you're going to spell that number too. So it looks just like this. Let's say they pick the number 3. All right, you start at the 12, you spell the number 3. T-H-R-E-E. That goes to the number 5. So you spell the number 5. F-I-V-E. That goes to the number 9. You spell the number 9. N-I-N-E. That comes to the number 1 right there. Then you whip out your handy-dandy membership card, and you'll see on the back right there, if it's a newer membership card, the one that I signed, there's a picture of David P. Abbott right there. And on the side, right there in the blue, you'll see it says, "Just get 1 o'clock." And you did get 1 o'clock. It's a really, really neat trick, pretty much self-working too. And I want to tell you something, a little story behind this trick. I found this trick in a book by Jim Steinmeier called Impossibilities. So of course I wanted to ask his permission before I used this trick. So I sent him an email thinking, Jim Steinmeier, he's not going to know who I am. He got back to me within an hour and said, please, you have my permission, go ahead and use this. Just please mention that it's from my book Impossibilities. Like, I am not going to tell everyone I know that Jim freaking Steinmeier gave me permission to use one of his tricks. It's a wonderful trick, and the book is wonderful too. If you like nice self-working tricks, mostly self-working, that's the book that you want to get. Impossibilities by Jim Steinmeier. So hopefully you'll do well with this trick. Again, if you don't have this card yet, if you don't have this membership card yet, when you renew, it will be coming to you. It's got my signature on it, and hopefully you'll have a lot of fun with this. And it's a great way to get people to open up in conversation to joining the SAM. So there's my little trick that I just taught you tonight. Now, more tricks coming the way, so get ready for this month's issue of Assembly V1.1.
So I can't hear Joel. Can you guys hear Joel? Regardless, we got the next clip up. It is by our second vice president, Stephen Spence. So let me get that rolling for you guys.
Good evening. My name's Steve Spence, and I'd like to tell you a little known tale about 4 brothers. Their names were Joe, Jack, Bobby, and Teddy, also known as the Kennedy brothers. Well, the four Kennedy brothers lived in a giant mansion with their mother, Rose. They were wild and mischievous, and one day Mother Rose had had enough. So she sent them straight to bed without any supper, with strict instructions to go straight to sleep or risk losing their allowance for a month. Well, no sooner had she shut the door than you think that they followed her warning. Of course not. They're mischievous. Teddy, being the youngest, he decided to play with his jacks. And Joe, being the oldest, he preferred something a little more interesting to play with, like the homecoming queen from down the street. Well, it wasn't long before Jack noticed what was going on, and so he snuck over into Bobby's bedroom. And he said, "Hey, Bobby, there's a party going on. Let's go join it." And so he immediately jumped into the magic closet. And quicker than you could say, Bay of Pigs, he had disappeared. But wouldn't you know it, he reappeared in the party, where Joe immediately gave him a drink. Lemonade, of course. Well, Bobby saw what was going on, and he wasn't far behind his brother, so he too jumped into the magic closet. And before you could say Jag or Hoover, he had disappeared and reappeared in the party. Well, that left only Teddy. And Teddy, being the youngest, and by no means the smartest, was somewhat befuddled. But didn't last long, because if nothing else, he knew how to party. And so quicker than you could say Chappaquiddick Bridge, he too jumped in the magic closet. And wouldn't you know, he disappeared. But before he could truly join the party, they heard footsteps. They heard Mother Rose coming up the stairs to catch them. She threw open the door, but all she found was four boys fast asleep in their separate bedrooms, with a mysterious smile on their face. And that's the tale of the mischievous Kennedy brothers. Thank you. Well, Joel asked me to explain this routine to you, so here goes. I can't claim that the moves are original to me for this routine. It in fact comes from Dr. Michael Rubenstein and his DVD, which had 3 of his videotapes. Remember, guys, this goes back a ways. Videotapes that were transferred over onto one DVD called Michael Rubenstein Knockout Coin Magic. It has some great coin work in here. It's a bit dated if you look in terms of the quality, but in fact he demonstrates all of his routines very well. So I'd highly recommend it. But this, he comes up with a very original name in which he calls it 2-coin reverse matrix. Now, although the handling is not unique, the pattern is unique to me. And I ask that, out of respect for me, that you do not perform my particular pattern, or if you do, please at least give me credit for coming up with the original routine, because I haven't heard anybody do this routine with this pattern, so I'm quite proud of the pattern actually. I like to have coin magic. I'm a big lover of coin magic, but I like to have reasons for what happened. My problem with matrix routines generally, although they're very magical, is the fact that there's no justification for what happens. You have a coin put here, The coin from the other side disappears and reappears underneath the coin, or the card, excuse me, but why? There's no particular justification for this magical happening. Well, I think my story takes care of that problem, because we have 4 boys, which were in fact reality. There were 4 brothers. They were Joe, Jack, or also known as John F. Kennedy, Bobby, also Robert F. Kennedy, and Ted Kennedy, Senator Ted Kennedy. So there's 4 mysterious brothers, and they're all trying to go through a secret passageway to get to the Joe's party. To me, it makes perfect sense. Audiences that have seen this seem to enjoy the light banter and patter. Even the youngsters that don't know the history can appreciate some of the humor, and they seem to enjoy it. The adults always get the humor and enjoy it. So, how does it work? Well, you need 4 coins, 4 Kennedy half dollars, and 2 cards. For the purpose of my patter, I need Jack. I always have a black Jack because I think it shows up well, and a queen. I always want the Queen of Hearts because it goes with the homecoming queen down the street and love and all of that. So I think it fits well. So first, you take the coins. You're going to display the coins. You name the coins one at a time. You put them in the 4 corners and emphasize that this is the Kennedy brothers. Then I go through that whole patter with the story about how they go up, been bad all day, their mother sends them to their separate bedrooms, yada yada. And then I introduce the cards. And I first introduce the Jack. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal this coin as I put the other card over Joe. That acts as misdirection. You have to time it well. But this is merely your typical matrix move in which, and I'll do it without the card now, I do it slightly different than is described by Michael Rubenstein. He levers it from the back and moves it up that way. I tend to lever from the front and put it into finger palm position that way, as you have the card hiding it just like that. If the card's coming over here just as you're pulling it back this way. Now I'm going to stop the tape right now and move in with a little closer shot so you can see what I'm doing a little better maybe. I know this is a distance and it's not necessarily the best. So hold on one second. For the rest of this explanation, I'm going to try and do it in close-up. Since I only have one camera, you won't be able to see my face, but I think you've seen enough of my face. Anyway, so to repeat what I just said, going to do a steal, you lever the coin either from the front as I do, or as Michael Rubenstein refers, he levers it from the back and pulls it in. Either way, you end up in a finger palm as the card covers the action. And it looks like you're just putting down the card, but really you've taken and stolen the coin into finger palm position as you are putting the other card over the first coin, or Joe as I call him. Then you pick up Jack and you then do a shuttle pass where you're merely moving the coins. This coin you're holding back using your thumb as this hand comes forward. You need to make sure, and I have a tendency to get them too close and click, so you need to be careful with that. But you're going to move and have the coin here while you tap it on with Bobby and you say, hey, he sees the party going on. And what you're going to do at this point in time, you're lifting, you have the coin that you did not in fact pass from your right hand into your left. It just merely looks like you did. And as you pick up this card, you're going to place this coin underneath the card. And you've shown that there's a party going on. And you just have this coin here, and you're going to put it back down with the coin and with the card. And so then I do whatever sleight you want. I have a tendency, if people are back, I don't always have my hand down, and I should, to show that it's clearly empty. And I'm going to put this coin in the hand, but all I'm going to do is, you have a retention vanish, and so you're going to pull this coin back as you close this, and it looks like you merely put the coin in your hand, just like that. And then I do my rubbing around. I do this up closer to my face, but for the purpose of this camera I'm going to have it down here low, and I use a funny line to get a little laugh, and I show that I have the coin has disappeared from this hand, and immediately I show that it is reappeared under the card with the party. And that's the point in which I transfer this card back to where I have this coin in finger palm, and I can gesture, and I'm just holding it here, and I transfer it, take it, and I put it just to the left, to the audience left, my right, here underneath the card. So now there's 3 coins under this card. A coin back here, and there's no coin under this card, but the audience thinks that Teddy is still under there. So then I do the same. I do a shuttle pass. Once again, this time I tend to just flip it over, and all you're doing is subtly, you're grabbing the coin with your thumb as you turn over, and it looks like you've passed the coin over there. And now with this coin in this hand, what you're going to do is you're going to do a slight, a half reverse palm, finger palm, where you've got, there you go, you've got this coin caught between these 2 fingers, and so it's on the bottom side of your hand, so you can put it down easily. Okay? So from an exposed view, I've got it like this. I've flipped it over, and it ends up like that, put down. But you can see how the coin is here, but when you have it down like this, nobody can see. And so I have it over in this hand. As I reveal that there are now 3 coins over there. And so what I'm going to do now is, as I go to steal, I'm going to steal this coin once again with the matrix move where you just flip it up like that. Put the card down. But as I do this, my misdirection is over on this side, where in fact I'm merely holding the coin like this, and as I pick the card up, I've slid this coin underneath the card. And in fact, you don't even have to slide it under the card, because if you leave it right here and bring the card over like that, it looks like it's just come from underneath the card. So the situation now is the 1 coin's here, the coin here in my hand, finger palmed, 2 coins here. And so then, after I've revealed, I pick this card up, I'm now going to scoop the coin onto the card. Remember, I've got this finger palmed here, and so I'm going to do a shuttle pass from the card into the hand, where I merely turn over the card, hold it with this thumb as I do, and it looks like you've transferred the coin to your other hand. But in fact, the coin is underneath this card. So I take this coin, I once again do a retention vanish, in which you tap it with, he calls this the ropes move. You in fact tap the edge of the coin with your finger, and you're going to scoop this up like that as you close your hand. So it looks just like that. I think that looks pretty good. And so now you do the same back palm, back clip move while you're revealing this coin, this empty hand, with your magic patter, with your humorous little one-liner that I do. But I reach for this card as if I'm going to turn it over like always, but in fact I stop and say, they hear footsteps. Mother Rose comes to catch them. And as she does, what you do, as I grab this card, I still got this hand just casually sitting over the top of this coin. I'm no longer even holding it, I've just got it casually sitting there. I'm going to grab this coin with my finger like that, and as I pull it back, I move the other card over with my finger, and you've got an immediate reveal with 4 coins in a place where they're not expecting it. And you can always hear the gasps, because they think they know where it's going, where they think all 4 coins are going to be there. But in fact, you fool them, and they're back where they began. And that's what I call the mischievous Kennedy brothers routine.
Okay, can you hear me now? Good. That was one of the most thorough explanations of Matrix I have ever seen. Steve, that was phenomenal. For those who don't know, Steve is the 2nd vice president of the National Society of American Magicians. That was absolutely, no, Steve, it wasn't that was long. It was, I said, a great explanation there too. This is what I think is going to be the greatest benefit, though, of recording this session that John's doing, because you're going to be able to go back in the next couple of days and you can watch this on the iPad. You can watch this on an iPhone or your computer, and you can go through the technique that you just saw for an unbelievable routine. So that was really, really well done. So, John, I guess our next one is Tom Gentile, who's the New England Regional Vice President. And this actually was done because Tom does a lot of stuff with the Boy Scouts, a lot of magic sessions, things like that. So what you're about to see is something that he did actually at a Boy Scout Jamboree.
I have made a prediction in this envelope of what coin that I think you're going to end up with. I'm going to ask you to leave that envelope on the paper. Do not look at it yet. I'm going to ask you to call out 2 coins of the nickel, penny, and dime I have on the table.
I'll take the dime and penny.
Dime and penny. We will remove the dime and penny, and we are left with the nickel. And if you would be so kind to open up the prediction and read the prediction.
You'll choose the nickel.
You'll choose the nickel. We know that we're ending up with a particular result. You are forcing the result through the process of walking down this path. They are going to choose, say for instance, the penny and the nickel. Then you ask them to call out another coin, and they may call out the nickel. You take away the penny. Either way, you are forcing them down the path of the coin that you want to end up with. And in this particular instance, the coin that I wanted them to come up with was you will choose the nickel.
And that's a great routine to have on hand, because you're always carrying change around with you there too. So you can, that's one of those spur of the moment type of effects that it's always great to have literally in your back pocket underneath there too. So our next one is actually Marty Steinberg, who is just going to be doing a coin routine.
Exposing it, right?
Okay.
Okay, and then I got this one. And then I got this one. Did you get that, or I went out of the frame?
Magic Marty Steinberg.
A legend in his own mind.
A lot of techniques that he uses for the passes, but that was extremely well done. There's a couple things, especially when it comes to card magic, that I've always found that's the basics. And one of them being the ghost count or the Elmsley count. So this next video is done by Terry Morgan, who's in the Poughkeepsie, New York area, a great card magician, and gives a rather very good explanation of the Elmsley count.
I'm here with Terry Morgan to do his Elmsley count.
Hi everybody, my name is Terry Morgan. I'm going to teach you a very, very useful move now called the Elmsley count. The purpose of the Elmsley count is to hide one card among a group of cards. Now the other card can be a different color back. It can be a double face card. So you can really use it for a lot of different purposes. Now here's an example of a routine using the Elmsley count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. As you can see, they have red backs. And I have 3 queens and I have a 9. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the 9 among the queens. Now if you look very carefully, you'll see it's third from the top or 1 up from the bottom as I turn the cards over. Now I'm simply going to reverse count the cards in my hand one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, very slowly. Now, the card should be second from the top, but as you can see, it's actually on the bottom. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, it should be second from the top, but it's on the bottom. Okay, I want to do this one more time. Now, I sometimes miscount and I lose up the place where the card is. So what I did is I put a little mark on the back of the 9 so I can follow, a little blue dot on the back of the 9 so I can follow it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. You see the little blue mark? No? Okay. Because these cards don't have the mark, but this one does. And that's the Elmsley count. That's an example of how you can use the Elmsley count. Okay. To do an Elmsley count, the card that you want to hide has to be third from the top of the deck, normally. Third from the cards, the 4 cards. You can use the Elmsley count for more than 4 cards, and I'll talk about that, or even less than 4 cards. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But holding 4 cards, it's third down from the top. Now, here's the move. I'll show it to you in slow motion. Cards are held in the left hand, thumb on top, fingers underneath. The other hand approaches and takes off the top card, but maintains the alignment of the cards in the left hand. So you want to keep those squared. So you pull this off while almost pushing back against the other cards underneath. After taking this away, you then push these 2 cards over as 1 card. So here's the move again. Take off the top card, push these 2 over, put this underneath on the bottom, slide it under your fingers, take these 2, and then count these on top. I'll show you that move again. Third card from the top is your card you want to hide. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. The important thing is the rhythm. You need to have the rhythm to make it look good, and that comes from practice. So again, it's pull the top card over, and at the same time shove these 2 over, shove this underneath, grab these 2, and then just count these 2 on top. That's the Elmsley count. Watch again. Pull this over, and as you do that, shove these 2 over, shove this underneath, take this, and then count these 2 on top. But again, it has to be done smoothly. That's the most important thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. The whole thing is being smooth. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you finish the Elmsley count, the odd card is going to be on the bottom of the pile. Now you're probably wondering, well, what do I do about that? Well, next month I'm going to show you the Jordan count, which is very similar to the Elmsley count, only the card is on the bottom of the pile. Okay? Now, you can also hide a card that's face up among the cards. Now, I will say, very important for the Elmsley, that it doesn't work well with B cards or cards that do not have blank edges. Okay, if you do it with B cards, you're going to have to be really, really tight with your Elmsley count. You don't have to be quite as neat with the white borders. Okay, all right, especially if a card's reversed and you really. Okay, so that's, you're on a hide to face up card. You just do, again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, the rhythm is the most important thing. Now you can also hide a double face card using this. I'm going to take out the 9. I'm going to put this 9 in now. Now what I can do here is I can show 1, 2, 3, 4. turn them over, and then show the faces. So you're hiding the other side of that double facer. So again, it can be used for a different color back, it can be used for a card that's reversed, or it can be used to hide a double face card. You can also use it to hide the fact that you only have 3 cards. Because if you can do the count that you normally would with 3 cards, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And it looks like 4 cards, but you only have 3. Again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can make a card disappear. You can place the cards in their hand and snap their fingers, and one card disappears, and you can pull the card out of another location. You can also add additional cards to and only count 5. Let's say I have six cards in here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, or 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can still count 1, 2, 3, 4. I can hide an extra card. Okay, so again, the Elmsley count can be used to hide extra cards as well. So that's the Elmsley count. If you have any questions and you ever have questions, just grab me and I'll be glad to teach it to you step by step. It's a great move. It's well worth the time to master. And next time we'll cover the Jordan count, which is this. The Jordan count lets you have the card on the bottom. Okay? Again, it's on the bottom of the deck. And it's the same thing, only a little bit different. Okay? Next time, the Jordan. Thanks, everybody. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to do the Elmsley count fast. You just have to do it at a steady pace. Rhythm is very important. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm not doing it fast. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And again, here's what I'm doing. Card's third from the top. I'm pulling this one over, and at the same time, I'm shoving these 2 over as 1. They're not perfectly aligned, you'll notice that, but it's not that important because the cards in motion are going to cover that fact. Okay? You should obviously keep it as tight as you possibly can, but okay? Again, it's pop card over, push these 2 over as 1, shove this underneath, shove it under the fingers, take these 2 away, and then just count these 2 on top. It's the whole thing is rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like you're counting and showing all 4 cards. Okay?
Yeah, Terry always does a great job explaining explaining techniques. And he's, like I said, he wants to do another one of the Jordan counts for the next meeting as well, which is great. So when John and I talked about doing a member meeting, I sent out emails to people saying, you shoot this with, your little iPhone, and you can, we'll put it online. The next one, Alex the Card Man, Alex Perricone, really took this to a whole nother level. And Alex, I know you're in the chat room here too, and I've got to thank you. This was amazing, absolutely. And we saved this for last because Alex really put a lot of time, he put a lot of effort in for making this an absolutely fantastic piece. And again, I'm going to say, watch this, over the next couple of days when it's online because it really goes into some great stuff. So I'm going to scoot out and John, rock and roll.
Hello everyone and welcome to the SAM Assembly V1.1. My name is Alex, Alexander Perricone. I first joined the Society of American Magicians in January 2014. I'm a proud member of the David Copperfield Assembly 161. Because of these experiences, I have met many different people, but we all share a common goal: to elevate and advance the art of magic. But in order to truly do that, we must first understand the artist behind the performance. And so I prepared this video to share a little bit about myself with all of you. I hope you enjoy. I am Alex, the Card Man. Almost 10 years ago, I began learning how to build complex structures entirely out of ordinary playing cards. This means that I never use any tape or glue, and I don't fold any of the cards. For me, the magical moment in card stacking happens when it all comes down. For my audiences, the knockdown serves to both celebrate and validate the temporary nature of a real house of cards. It wasn't long before I dedicated myself to the art of card flourishing. Moves like this have a rich history, and now I can see that there are many ways to present them. See, to truly elevate the art form of card flourishing, you have to look beyond the moves. For me, the magical moment in card flourishing is when you preserve and express life through the cards. For my audience, this idea alone impacts them the most when they see my routines. The truth is, finding magic in your life is what all of this is really about. In my magic shows, I primarily use sleight of hand to accomplish effects that inspire and connect with my audience. For me, the real magic is not about the secret to the trick. Real magic is in the message that you share. This is a story about people just like us. You see, here we have the 4 Jacks, and they were like brothers. But unfortunately, just like brothers do, they had an argument. And so they each moved far away from each other. Next come the kings. You see, the 4 kings were the richest men in the land. But money doesn't solve all our problems. And when the kings had an argument over money, they also moved far away from each other. Don't worry, ladies, you're in this too. You see, it's not just men who argue. The 4 queens were like sisters. And when they had an argument, what do you think happened? That's right, they moved far away from each other. You see, every relationship needs a hero. And tonight, we have the 4 aces. And so they will try to be that hero. Each of the 4 aces moves far away from each other. But their primary goal is to make this situation better. Unfortunately, things just aren't that simple. You see, the 4 aces can't do it alone. They need a hero. And if you will be their hero, that would make all the difference. I know I will. And so I will cut the cards just once. That will represent my promise to be a hero. Who else would like to be a hero? Would you please cut the cards anywhere you like? Right there? Great. And how about you over here? Please, give the cards a single cut. Excellent. You cut the cards, I cut the cards. I promise there's a point to all this. You see, no matter how we mix the cards tonight, we now know one thing is true. The love that we share with each other is ultimately what will bring us back together again. And so, this is what happens. The 4 queens all together again. The 4 kings. And, of course, the 4 jacks and the 4 aces all together again. This is an effect that's really easy to learn and requires almost no technical ability with a deck of cards. It utilizes a concept known as the cyclical stack. And here's how it works. When you're telling your story, and there are many stories that can be told for this, a popular one that comes to mind is the hotel card trick. That's also another name that this one is known for. But when you're telling your story, you can place the cards down in 1, 2, 3, 4 order. And I like to move them far apart to further visually emphasize the idea that they're moving far away. But you tell your story, and all you're doing is creating a stack that's the same. This pile here is Jack King, this pile here is Jack King. They're all Jack King. Then you add the queens, and then you add the aces. And this can be in any order to suit your story, as long as each of the 4 piles matches in order. In this case, it's Jack, King, Queen, Ace. As you put these together, make sure you don't mix them. You just put them together, like that. Just drop them on top. And at this point, you can have the cards cut, as long as it's a single cut, you can have them cut as many times as desired, anywhere. This works because of the cyclical stack. Cutting the deck does not change the order when you deal them out 1, 2, 3, 4. And then repeat 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see this for yourself if I turn the cards face up and deal them out one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you do this face down, it creates even more of an impression that the cards are hopelessly mixed. And when you turn them over, the effect takes place. I hope you guys enjoy this one. It's very easy to do. Play back the video as many times as you need, and enjoy. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope that by sharing a little bit about myself, maybe I can inspire some of you. Remember, this is our assembly. It may be virtual, but I believe that if we work together and collaborate, we can close the distance between each other. We are the Society of American Magicians. Let's make it happen. My name is Alexander Perricone, but you can call me Alex, the Card Man.
Alex, that was outstanding. Thank you so much. And I want to thank everybody who contributed tonight, whether it be performances or teacher tricks. You got to realize there's going to be a ton of people watching this over the next couple of days. I'm getting emails as we speak here of people saying, I can't make it tonight, but I'm going to watch it this week. So this is really taking off here. So people will be seen by a lot of people. So thank you. And again, like I said, we're having another member episode in January. So if you have any other effects, or if somebody wants to submit something that you from a group, please just send me the video or send John the video. It's be fantastic. John, if I got a question. I know your computer is lagging, so your video is not coming on there too. Can we do the live feed? Great. Okay, folks, we're going to try something that we have never done before. That is, we want to see not all of you, but some of you live. Now, we can have up to 10 cameras going. So, if you have a camera on your computer right now that's functional, that you can use, type in one. Type one in the chat room. We're going to try something brand new here. But if you have a camera on your computer, okay. Okay. Excellent. So this is a live assembly meeting. And we want to try to get to meet as many of you as possible. So, John, do you have a code that we can use? Okay. Now you're going to see on the top left, you're going to see it says start broadcasting. You're going to hit that. It's going to ask you for a password. The password is Joel, capital Joel. So, and when if you do that and you enter the room, shout out your name. Just shout what your name, who you are. So, if anybody wants to do that, you'll see start broadcast, and it's going to ask you a couple questions about the computer and then. Let's see if we can actually access this. I believe we can have up to 10 cameras going at the same time. And John, is your computer still lagging too for broadcast? Okay. That's good. Maybe next time. Okay. next member meeting. So if we don't get it going today, we're definitely going to try for next member meeting there too. We're going to have, like I said, up to 10 people going. And oh, excellent. Great. Hey, Alex is there. Alex, you got sound?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think I do. It's push to talk.
Awesome.
How's it going, everybody?
That's great. Alex, I got to tell you, that was absolutely phenomenal. You know, I never had seen the bird one. The bird flourish.
Oh yeah, that's a move I like to call Snow Angel. Goes a little bit like this.
Wow.
Don't you just love no effort? There's no effort. you may have done that once or twice before. I don't know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always love
you don't
creating my
even
own
think about it,
material.
do you? You're like, you're finger flicking all over the place, and you probably are not even conscious of it. You're just that good. Oh, I just saw a Tudor Revolution there.
Oh yeah. You want to see some more? I'll just keep it going.
Alex,
all right,
you've been
we're
doing
gonna
this
start. He's going for the world record, 13 hours of card badge.
By the way, that was
That is
a personal
pretty.
creation of mine called
There
the
we go.
windmill display.
The windmill, that was beautiful.
Yeah, because it looks just like a windmill. How's it going, Steve?
We have the second vice president, Steve Spence, here too.
Woo! He's mobile. He is mobile.
Hey, yeah. I wasn't expecting to be on camera, so my hair's a mess, but, you know, what the heck.
What is this?
Hey, look at that.
Oh, that's great.
That's the Philadelphia convention.
Oh, I see that.
So, Alex, a question for you. Did you always like flourishes? I mean, is that what really got you into doing magic, or is...
Yeah, actually, I started building a house of cards, and you know, that kind of took off. And from there, I found card flourishing. And after spending a couple of years with the flourishes, like strictly just flourishing, I got into magic. So not a traditional path into magic with a magic kit or seeing a magician, but it's a unique journey, and I'm very happy about that.
And you're very good at that. So, and your production skills. When we got that submission from you, we were just like, look at this, just passing it along. Even to Bruce Calver, we're like, look at this. He's setting the bar high. We're gonna raise our game.
Yeah, it's something that I've been working on for years. But I always tell people, like, if you want to make good videos, you have to, try to have a good vision for it, plan ahead, and just learn as much as you can with the equipment that you have. Because by no means do I have any professional equipment or anything, but I make do with what I have, and I bring out the best in it.
So what did you shoot that on?
Yes, you do.
I have it's actually right here, JVC video camera. It's just a regular camcorder with a screen that flips out. So that helps a lot with angles so that I can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. But in terms of editing and, post-production, just basic Sony Vegas. Just a lot of time.
Wow.
Do you have a Mac or do you have Windows?
Windows.
Okay, because I had a heck of a time. I had actually edited down what was shown this evening, but I couldn't get it transferred. I upgraded my Mac operating system, which was a big mistake, and then I couldn't get it transferred except straight from the camera in the RAW form. So
it worked.
Well, Mr. Second Vice President, I'll mix it together so when it's
I'll get it to you sooner next
being
time.
viewed by everybody else. Polished.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, you can cut out the take one. Yes.
Excuse me, Steve. I just wanted to ask you. The problem of justification in magic is simple, and I realize that you put a lot of thought into that when you created your story with the Matrix. What advice do you have to people who are struggling with that? Because I know that's a big thing with a lot of different plots in magic. Torn and Restored comes up, with cards, comes to mind when I think about that. The idea of justifying the magic and finding meaning in it.
I think there's two trains of thought. There are those people that truly believe you don't need any. Just make it natural and just show something visual. And I'm not in that camp. I'm like you. You clearly came up with the story. I generally like to have some reason for the actions, and I tend to do it through a storyline, but not always. But that one seemed to work just perfectly with the story. I hadn't ever seen anybody actually talk about the Kennedys, and clearly there were 4 Kennedy brothers, and so it worked very nicely. So,
well done.
Thanks.
Oh, by the way, Joe, thank you for your comment. It's very nice of you to say that. We're trying to improve constantly. As I said, this is really taking off.
We need to get some more of those West Coast magicians to come to our assembly, but maybe it's the time. I don't know.
Because we actually sent this out through Facebook, and I had sent an email out there too, but I don't think it got to all the members. So.
Yeah. Technology,
I think some of the emails did not get through to everyone.
If we want to remind someone within 24 hours, or else it's easy for life to get in the way.
Yeah. But I'm really encouraged with, Alex, having guys like you and John and Joel, the technology folks, because we need more of those in, the mixing of the magic and the technology, bringing our organization into the 21st century as everybody's trying to do. We need more of that.
Yeah. And to think that members can sit here and go through each of these routines, which are, each one of you did an unbelievable job. I'm saying this is, such great material that they can sit here, right on MagicSam.com.
And how much does it cost?
Mind-blowing.
How much does it cost?
Like zero
Zero!
compared to like if
It's
you were
free!
gonna personal lecture somewhere like $30, and then you get shit. But here we're just providing it, We're trying to help as much as we can.
Yep.
The last Bruce's lecture, fun little tidbit. That has been viewed a total of 71 hours. So after we've posted, shared it, there's been people have watched 71 hours of Bruce over and over and over again. So that demolishes his 13-hour record.
Oh my. So does it actually, I mean, in reporting, does it show you how many views, or is it just by time, John? I mean, you say there's 71. Is that 100 people? Is that 1,000 people? Is that? Do we know?
I think total it's.
I don't know if you can hear me.
I'd have to double check everything, but I think it's about 20 minutes on average and like 415 people.
Wow, great.
That's not too shabby.
Mm-hmm. That'll be good.
And climbing with people like Alex, making me look lazy.
Yeah.
No, seriously, though, I want to thank all of you and the members as well for all the effort and the work that goes into this. I mean, even the guys, we show up here every month, and it means a great deal to the environment, and everybody's contributing, and it's just an awesome scene to be a part of.
Great.
That's, you know what, Alex? That's, I think, a great way to end this meeting, because that's you summed it up perfectly. You really, through your video and through comments, absolutely perfect. So again, thank you so much, and I guess we'll say goodbye to everybody, and happy Halloween, everybody, too.
So the next meeting is, what's the date again?
November. Bring it up on calendar right now. 1 second. So it's always the third Sunday of the month.
Oh, that'll be the 20th.
The 20th. And that's David Casero on marketing for magicians, who, like I said, gives an unbelievably great lecture. Yeah, he's really good.
Looking forward to that one.
Which is really good. And like I said, Jamie D. Grant is in December, which is going to be December 18th. Then we have the member meeting in January on the 15th. Right before the RVP the meeting in Omaha, Nebraska, Stephen Spence. And then February we have Michael DeShalit. And then I have a whole list of other people coming up. Down. So we're gonna have a blast here, folks. A real blast.
Good. Looking forward to it.
Sayonara, everybody. Have a great month.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Bye-bye.